move item 9E from the regular agenda. Is there any other items that need to be either removed or added? If not, I would entertain a motion to approve the regular agenda with the removal of item 9E.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second it.
Motion's made and seconded to approve the regular agenda. Discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Also, I want to remove item 9E from the consent agenda, and all items with an asterisk are considered to be routine by the city council and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a council member or citizen so requests, in which event the item will be removed from the general order of business and considered separately in its normal sequence on the agenda. Besides item 9E, is there any other consent agenda items that need to be removed or added? Hearing none, I would entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So move.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve the consent agenda. Discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the motion carries. The minutes of the work session held February 5th, 2026, and the regular city council meeting held February 10th, 2026 are before the council. Is there anyone in the audience or any member of the council that wishes to make any changes or corrections to the minutes of those two meetings? Hearing none, I would entertain a motion to approve those minutes.
So move.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve the minutes of the work session held February 5th, 2026, and the regular city council meeting held February 10th, 2026. Discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the motion carries. Carly Kohout, Admiral for the Northwest Water Carnival, is here this evening, and she would like to make a short presentation to the council. So Carly, if you want to come up to the podium. That means summer's coming, right?
Yeah, soon. Hopefully. Okay. Well, I sent in the letter, but then I just kind of put together a little speech about this year's Water Carnival. So my name's Carly Kohout. I'm this year's Water Carnival Admiral for 2026. 90 years. We made it. I've been a JC since 2019. I finally joined after attending 2 of their Christmas parties. They got me, but I'm glad I joined. So this year, the DLJCs are celebrating 90 years. The dates this year are going to be July 10th through the 19th, 2026. We're excited to bring in the 90th year with some new events featuring a family movie night in the park, Taste of DL vendor show, and then a comedy night. As well as our traditional events such as K-Fan, bingo, water fights, and parade. So not much is changing except the location, as most of you are aware. The construction is happening this summer, so we had to find a new hub or a meeting area. So my plan is to make that People's Park behind Zorba's and then using the Kent Freeman Arena for those indoor events. This year I plan to focus more on family-friendly events. And then just like fun ways to bring the community together and just celebrate this town and bring back that fun nostalgia and just being a kid again. To stay in the loop of what's happening, just make sure to follow our DLJC's Facebook page and then the Northwest Water Carnival on Facebook. And then the website, I plan to have all the information on the website, so there shouldn't be any questions unanswered. Otherwise, we're excited to bring the Water Carnival to life this year. Myself and the JCs are working hard to bring it together, and we're going to make it great. Here's to year 90.
Sounds good. We did discuss your request for the licenses and all the permits and everything at our Public Works Committee, so just call on Ron for.
Okay, the committee reviewed this for your request and give consideration and approval of 3 temporary on-sale intoxicating liquor licenses, 4 3.2 liquor licenses, 2 parade permits, facility and ground usage of Kent Freeman Arena, the city park, the city beach, the People's Parks, the street closures, extended curfews, and waive all fees as per the JC's request. And the committee recommends so move.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to give all approvals necessary for the 90th Northwest, was it the 90th? It's not the 90th Water Carnival though, right? It is? Okay,
90 years.
cool. Discussion on the motion?
Just to see if we can do anything to help you, you let us know. Don't be
Oh.
bashful.
I will take any help. It's just me this year, so
I see you, normally you have a sidekick, but so that's why I
yeah.
say if you need help, you
We
know where
need
to go.
members too, so.
Okay, well, thanks, Carly.
Thank
All in
you.
favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Thank you.
Thanks.
Without objection, I'm going to jump to item 5D in the Community Development Committee agenda. So Alderman Delaney is going to take that one, right, Jay?
Yep.
Okay.
5D, item 5D, consideration to a resolution approving the amended conditional use permit for a residential planned unit development at 1071 Shorewood Drive, Gary D. Tharaldson, 2018 Legacy Trust. Larry, could we call on you to add some
Yes, this
insight?
is essentially an amended conditional use permit. It started with Ace Brandt, and the plan was to have a house, a two-story garage, a maintenance building, and then an entertainment facility. The entertainment facility was never constructed, and now the new owners would like to put in a two-unit, 8-bedroom guest quarters structure instead of the entertainment facility that Ace Brandt had planned. So that's the change, and that's the amended conditional use permit that's being proposed tonight.
Okay, the Planning Commission discussed this and recommended approval. The Community Development Committee discussed this yesterday, and we recommend approval, and I so move.
Is there a second to the motion?
I'll second it.
Motion's been made and seconded to adopt a resolution approving the amended conditional use permit at 1071 Shorewood Drive. Discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Without objection, I'd like to move to item 7C, which is on the Finance Committee agenda, and I'd call on Chairman Stearns.
Yes, this afternoon, the Finance Committee was visited by Emily Dennis from the Detroit Lakes Community and Cultural Center. We reviewed the financial statements that were dated fiscal year end August 31, 2025. So we reviewed them, made some requests for future audits, a little more of just how the layout would be for us to monitor certain expenses. But other than that, we didn't have any questions or significant concerns. So we have consideration to accepting the Detroit Lakes Community and Cultural Center annual financial statements and the independent auditor's audit report for year ended August 31, 2025. I recommend approval and so move.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to accept the Detroit Lakes Community and Cultural Center annual financial statements and the independent accountant's audit report for the year ending August 31st, 2025. Discussion on the motion. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. And I think we've taken care of everyone who's here, so we'll just go right back to the top. And we are to the Community Development Committee agenda, and I would again call on Alderman Delaney.
Item 5A, yes to housing legislation. The Minnesota House of Representatives has presented Bill number 3895, the Starter Home Bill, which attempts to address the affordable housing issue. This bill relates to local governments and zoning, and Kelsey will give us a little more update.
Mayor and council, this is not an action item, but we just had a little bit of a discussion about the proposed bill. This has changed over the years. It used to be the Yes to Homes legislation. The reason why most city groups have opposed it is basically a preemption of local zoning control. It basically would mandate some changes to our zoning from the state level regarding everything from accessory dwelling units, some higher density, would prohibit other actions that cities could consider in their zoning as well. So we just had a discussion, what are maybe some of the issues with the legislation, and we'll continue to monitor it this legislative session.
So there's no action, Jay, correct?
Nope, no action.
All right,
I would like to make a comment, though, if I could, Mayor.
sure, go ahead.
It's, housing is important across the entire country, and the federal bureaucracy in Washington DC has been trying to figure out a plan. We've been trying to figure out a plan here in Minnesota, but it just doesn't seem to work out so that we hear that word affordable. And our median family income here in Detroit Lakes is $68,000. And it appears that right now that they call a starter home being around $425,000. That would take a median family income of about $125,000 to $135,000 to qualify for that loan. And with 20% down, you'd have to end up having a payment of about $3,200 to $3,400 a month, and that doesn't include taxes and insurance. So we're a long ways from making housing affordable. And I hope that someday somebody will sit down and work on with the tax purposes with these young people at the end of the year when they do their taxes, that they can get some type of reduction or a payback so they can afford to buy a house. But right now, that word affordable is a long ways off. And I hope that sooner or later, we'll come up with the right idea at the federal level and at the state level so we can make this dream come true for all these young people.
Okay, Jay?
Item 5B, consideration to second reading and adoption of ordinance number 549, rezoning from RA and agriculture residence district to 5B auto-oriented business district at 1686 Randolph Road. Larry, do you want to add anything to this?
This is the property on Randolph Road up by Orton Stone Gardens, and we had first reading last month. This would be second reading to change it to B3.
This was again discussed at Community Development Committee yesterday, and we recommend approval, and I so move.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to give second reading and adopt ordinance 549. Discussion on the motion?
Well, I've received calls on that because that's in Ward 1, and one of the concerns is that we've got a neighborhood there with 34 houses that's about a block away, and their concern is that it's going to go into a business-oriented type business, and they're concerned about their property and what's going to happen with them in the long run. Because we go down to next item C about what they want to have with motorized vehicles and trailers, they are concerned about that, and I'm kind of wondering if we're jumping here a little bit too fast, because that is a good-sized neighborhood, and I guess we need residential houses, and I can't support this because I'm with the neighborhood to protect them with their R2 housing.
So if you don't support it, Ron, we're not going to have enough votes to give second reading. Do you intend to vote no?
I intend to vote no because I've had calls on this from my neighborhood, and I just feel we've got to do something. It wasn't too long ago that we had a building, a nursing home going to go in on East Shore Drive, and it was voted out because the residents said it was going to affect their residential neighborhoods. Well, virtually this is going to happen to this neighborhood too. So I've got to support the neighbors in that area, and we've got to work out some type of agreement so that they're sure that they're going to have a good neighborhood for many years to come.
Well, I think it's just unfortunate that we're missing 3 council members. Charlie, is there an opportunity to revisit this when we have a full council?
Well, there's always an opportunity for the applicant to make another request for rezoning. So if this rezoning fails tonight, that doesn't preclude the applicant from, returning to making additional requests, but we'd have to go through the entire process.
Including
Could they also table this?
Well, there could be a motion to table. That would then take it off of the agenda tonight and defer it to a different meeting.
Did I already call for a motion to approve?
Yes.
Yes.
There was a motion made and seconded,
Yeah.
so
So in order
you can
to entertain a motion to table, we'd have to,
just make a motion to table.
Somebody would have to make a motion. to
I'll make a motion to table it.
Okay.
oh, okay, is there a second to the motion to table?
Second.
Discussion?
I think it might be important to have someone come and talk about what is the plan for that area, because perhaps that would help the residents in that area understand it's not going to be a nursing home. It's going to be less than that. So I would recommend.
They're not worried about a nursing home, they're worried about the business side of it. Because nursing home part was one was over on
Yeah,
on East Shore Drive.
yes, I realize that.
Same thing you're suggesting.
Well,
Come in and talk about
why
what
don't
they're
we
planning.
invite
Yep.
them in for the next meeting?
Sure.
Further discussion? We have a motion, a second to table. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Jay?
So just,
So,
you're probably ahead of me. You'll want to table this next one as well.
Yeah, you can't act on E if you
No. Should I read the whole thing or just make a motion?
do we need a motion on
Okay,
any
yeah.
sort?
Okay, I make a motion for item 5C to table till next month.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to table item 5C. Discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Item 5E, consideration to a resolution approving the final plat of Common Interest Community Number 113, Providence Lakes at 1141 US Highway 59 South, Eagle Rock Real Estate LLC. Larry, would you be so kind?
Yes, this is a 20 twin home unit development with 40 units in it, and it's, the density meets the underlying density of the zoning district, and the property is zoned RM multifamily. There is 7 buildable acres of land, and the lot coverage is about 44%. They're allowed up to 50% lot coverage. This has been brought to the Planning Commission, and they recommend approval.
The Planning Commission reviewed this and recommended approval. The Community Development Committee also reviewed this yesterday and recommend approval, and I so move.
Second it.
Motion's been made and seconded to adopt a resolution approving the final plat of Common Interest Community Number 113. Discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Item 5F, consideration to approving the grant agreement for the BDPI grant for the industrial park. Kelsey, do you want to take over?
Sure. Mayor and council, the council had acted on this application last year. This is for the North Tower Road Industrial Park expansion. The grant is for just under $1.2 million. Again, this is in partnership with the Detroit Lakes Development Authority, and this is just the actual approval of the grant agreement.
The Community Development Committee discussed this yesterday, and we recommend approval, and I so move.
Second it.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve the grant agreement for the BDPI grant for the industrial park. Discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Anything else, Jay?
No more items, sir.
Okay, we'll go to the Public Works Committee. Chairman Zeman.
Okay, item 6A, discussion regarding bids for the 207th Avenue Street and Utility Improvement Project, and I'm going to call on John Pratt to give us an update on that.
Mayor and council, we opened bids for what's really the second phase of the 270th Avenue Street Utility Improvement Project back on February 26th. We had 6 bids, which is a pretty high number of bids considering the size of the project. The low bid was from Ryan Contracting of Elko New Market in the amount of $690,000, which was pretty significantly below our estimate. I think we were estimating around $780,000, I believe. So about $100,000 below our estimate. We haven't worked with Ryan before. They've never done work inside the city. I haven't worked with them anywhere else. But we did do some homework on them and got very good remarks from different cities and other engineering firms that had worked with them. So we are going to recommend approval and awarding that contract to Ryan Contracting. However, I'd ask the council take that action up at the April council meeting after we've held the assessment hearing, which we're going to call for in a separate item here this evening. So we'll sit on this until April.
Okay. The committee's reviewed this, and I make a motion, we go ahead and accept the bids.
Nope, nope, we don't want to.
Oh, we don't want it until April
Just
then.
discussion.
Okay, until April, okay.
Yep.
So we'll just table it.
Table till April. I was gonna make the bids through April, but. Okay. So item B then, discussion regarding bids for Rossman Avenue Street utility improvements. You were just handed some new bids that came in today, and I'm going to have John go through that with us.
Yeah, Mayor and Council, it's kind of the same story just for the Rossman Avenue project. We opened those bids this morning. We had 7 bids on that one. Low bid being from CNL Excavating at just under $1 million. Again, below estimate. We were projecting about 1.8 million, so had kind of a string of projects coming in pretty well below estimate here lately. CNL's done a number of projects inside the community, great contractor to work with. So again, this is just for discussion this evening. We're going to set the assessment hearing for this project as well in a subsequent action, and we'll take this back up at the April meeting for award. So no action.
And John, you were saying that these bids have been coming in way lower than we had predicted then too then.
Yeah, I mean, this is number 4 effectively that we've taken here between Westlake, the beach, and 270th, and every one of them have been anywhere kind of between that 10 to 18% below our estimate. So it's been a pretty good run in that regard.
Okay, very good.
Okay, item C, consideration of approving the final payment for the Forest Street and utility improvement project. Kelsey, you want to take that one, or John again?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mayor and Council, not much to add here other than we're recommending final payment be released. We've cleaned up all the little minor punch list items with that contractor and any outstanding discrepancies. So we are recommending we can release that final payment for the Forest Street project.
Okay, the committee approved this, and I so move.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve the final payment for the Forest Street and Utility Improvement Project. Discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, item 60, to consider a resolution accepting a sidewalk survey report and setting up improvement hearing for April 14th at 5 o'clock. I'm going to call on Sean to give us a little update on that.
Yes, Mayor and Council, this is our annual sidewalk repair, curb and gutter. We always take that survey in the fall. The report you see is what our numbers showed last fall. We put that out now for the assessment roll and agreeing to the survey. So that's what we're doing tonight.
Okay, so the committee's reviewed this and make a motion of resolution accepting this survey that will be coming up and have the hearing on April 14th.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to adopt a resolution accepting the sidewalk survey report and to set the improvement hearing for April 14th. Discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Item E, consideration resolution ordering the preparation for assessments roll in the setting the public hearing on April 14th at 5 PM for the 207th Avenue Street Utility Improvement Project. Again, we've gone over this. I'm going to have John, anything else you want to say on that?
Nope, we'll just mail out notices and prepare the roll and have the hearing at the April meeting.
Okay, the committee reviewed this, and I so move that we pass the resolution.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to adopt a resolution ordering the preparation of the assessment roll and to set the public hearing for April 14th for the 270th Avenue Street and Utility Improvement Project. Discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, item F, consideration of the resolution ordering the preparation of assessment roll and the setting of hearing in April 14th at 5 PM for the Rossman Avenue Street and Utility Improvement. John, you want to go over that with us again, too?
Yeah, identical to the previous item, just for the Rossman Avenue project, so hearing in April.
So I'll go ahead and make a motion for ordering the preparation assessments for April 14th. I so move.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to adopt a resolution ordering the preparation of the assessment roll and to set a public hearing for April 14th for the Rossman Avenue Street and Utility Improvement Project. Discussion on the motion. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, next item is G, consideration of approving the commercial dock license with J&K Marina. Kelsey, you want to go over that with us?
Mayor and council, this is an annual item. We don't have it on the consent agenda because, again, it's a little bit unique because their application includes the 2 extra docks on the side. That's why we always have council just act on it independently of the consent agenda, but it's the same as last year.
Okay, all of you have received the information in your packet, and the committee's reviewed this. I'm so moved that we go ahead and approve this commercial dock license.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve the commercial dock license for J&K Marine. Discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries.
Okay, next item H is consideration of approving a special event application for the Detroit Lakes Regional Chamber of Commerce for the Art in the Park, which is going to be on Sunday, July 26th at the City Park. The committee's reviewed this, went over it. Is there anything else we want to say on that? If not, the committee goes ahead and moves to approve this event. I so move.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you.
That's the first time I think I ever did it.
Motion's been made to approve a special event application for the Detroit Lakes Regional Chamber of Commerce for Art in the Park. And I know Jackie's going to abstain on this one.
Yes, Your Honor.
So all in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I think that was 2-0, wasn't it?
Okay, next item is I.
All right.
Consideration of approving a sports arena agreement for 2026 through 28 with the Detroit Lakes Public Schools. And I'll call on Kelsey to give us an update on that.
Mayor and council, both items I and J are 2-year agreements with DL Schools and then DL Youth Hockey Association. The last few agreements have been 3-year contracts. The thought or approach this time around is to do a 2-year agreement with a 3% year-over-year increase to basically buy us a little bit of time to have more discussion about some other capital improvements that need to be made that may impact the next lease agreement. So this is kind of an extension, 2-year extension to somewhat maintain the status quo with a 3% year-over-year increase.
Okay, the committee's reviewed. This is for the sports arena agreement with the public schools, and the committee moves, and so do I. So I'll make a motion to approve the agreement as presented.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve the sports arena use agreement for 2 years with the Detroit Lakes Public Schools. Discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, next item is J. This is a consideration of approving the sports arena agreement for 2026-28 with the Detroit Lakes Youth Hockey Association. The committee reviewed this, and I so move that we go ahead and approve this agreement.
Is there a second? Motion's been made and seconded to approve the sports arena use agreement for 2 years with the Detroit Lakes Youth Hockey Association. Discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, the next item is K, is a consideration of resolution authorizing an agreement with the Minnesota DNR for the Rossman boat access. Kelsey?
Yeah, Mayor and council, so related to the Westlake Drive project and the beach improvements, we're redoing the Rossman boat access. So we had reached out to the DNR last year to see if they would do any type of cost participation. Initially, they said no, but they came back and said that they would provide us with the planks, the concrete planks for the access, which is really a pretty big savings for us to be able to get those free of cost. However, when they were doing the grant agreement, they asked me if I had a minutes or a council resolution that authorized the application, and we never really did that. So I need a resolution so I can do the grant agreement with the DNR.
Okay, the committee's gone ahead and looked at this resolution. They did give us planks, and apparently those planks are worth about $50,000. So it's a nice gift from the DNR, but the committee goes ahead and approves this resolution authorizing the Minnesota DNR for the Rossman Park boat access, and I so move.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to authorize entering into an agreement with the Minnesota DNR for the Rossman boat access. Discussion on the motion. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, the next item is L, consideration of resolution authorizing the grant application with Minnesota DNR for outdoor recreational program. And I'm going to call on Sean King to give us an update about what this grant is going to come to.
I'll take this one.
Council, want to take it?
Yeah,
Okay.
Mayor and council, so this authorizes a grant application for the DNR Outdoor Recreational Program. The grant deadline is the end of March, and the intent is to apply for the splash pad that's related to the Pavilion and City Park project. The grant can fund up to 50% of the project cost. So we have some work to do. We still got to put the application together, but this would authorize the grant application.
Okay, so the committee has reviewed this, and we'll go ahead and give consideration to this resolution for the grant, and I so move.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to adopt a resolution authorizing a grant application with the Minnesota DNR for outdoor recreation program. Discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, the next item is item M, consideration to accepting the city engineer's monthly report. Call on John for that.
Yep, Mayor and Council, just update on all of our current projects here. Still have some that are kind of sitting, waiting for weather to warm up, so nothing to report on Southwood Shore Estates, just some minor work out there this spring. The water tower project, the contractor has indicated that they will probably resume construction activity out there sometime in the early part of April. So one of the first things that will happen out there will be to raise that bowl that's currently down on the ground and get it up into its final position. So when that happens, we'll pass along some information on when that's going to happen, and may try to have a little public viewing area where we can do watch that happen. So more to come on that, but that project will take the bulk of the summer to complete. So nothing on the Heartland State Trail, Forest Street. We just issued final payment, so I'll pull that off the list. Westlake Drive Phase 3 and the beach improvement project. Just a refresher, we've opened bids, we've awarded bids. The county has provided concurrence on awarding those bids. We've been waiting for clearance from MnDOT, Office of Civil Rights, and we've gotten that clearance, and so now we have forwarded the contracts to Haug to get those executed. They're gonna, it sounds like, turn those around pretty quick here. We'll be looking at scheduling a pre-construction meeting probably sometime in the next couple of weeks. Haug's indicated that they'd like to get moving with construction really in earnest here. Hopefully the first half of April, if the weather kind of trends the way it's trending right now. That would be helpful. It'd maybe give us a little bit more breathing room in the schedule than what we originally had. We didn't have a whole lot of wiggle room before, so that would be good news. On that note, one activity that you will see here yet in March, probably sometime in the next couple of weeks, is we have to start off with the tree clearing on the beach. Obviously, that'll garner some attention. Those have to be taken down prior to the end of March to comply with some regulations related to the northern long-eared bat. So Haug plans to get after that again sometime in the next couple of weeks. There'll probably be some short closures, block to block sort of thing as they work on that. They'll be tipping them over onto the beach, but we still want to make sure we're being safe with adjacent traffic. So we'll probably close sections of Westlake Drive to facilitate that. It'll probably take about a week. I am going to provide just a little bit more detail on this, and we'll get this out to council just so that you have the information, but kind of refreshing things related to trees. There are about 159 existing trees down on the project. We are going to be removing about 104 of them, which is about 59% of the existing for various reasons. The thing I want to point out and stress is it was sort of coincidental that Sean had a forestry survey done on city properties, kind of looking at the health of our existing stock of trees. I think a couple of years ago, 3 years ago. So keep in mind, this was 3 years ago. And at that time, we sort of layered this stuff with the trees that we're planning to remove compared to what the health report was coming out of that forestry survey. And about 30% of those trees had a life expectancy of around 3 years. and about 85% of the trees we're planning to remove had a life expectancy of less than 10 years. So, I think it's important to remember that, taking trees down is never fun. A lot of these were getting close to the end of their life. As far as what we're going to do, there's about 58 new trees going in. There's right around 42 that are kind of in that 2 to 2.5 inch, either ornamental or deciduous trees that are ball and burlap, and 2.5 inch caliper is a pretty healthy sized tree. And then we also are bringing in 16 spade trees that will be even a larger stock yet. So again, 58 trees going back in addition to trees. We've got about 140 shrubs going in and over 1,500 perennial plants. So there's a lot of planting and trees and stuff that will go back in as part of this project. Some people might ask, I know initially we were looking at trying to do closer to a 1-to-1 replacement, but when we got into the details of that, working with HKGI, that would have overcrowded the beach. That's part of the problem that we have down there right now, is they're actually a little too tight, which causes some damage to the trees and shortens up their life. So we tried to find the nice balance of not overcrowding this, not overshading the beach, still providing some areas that have more direct sunlight, and this is sort of where we landed. But anyway, we'll get that information out, but wanted to hit on that. Nothing to report on the DMRA legacy grant, other than that project's just about buttoned up. Nothing on Shorewood Drive, 270th, we already talked about. We'll have an assessment hearing in April and consider award on that project then. Linview, probably another month and a half or so before the contractor resumes work on that project. Rossman Avenue, again, we've already discussed that. We'll have a hearing in April and then award. The North Side Utility and Street Reconstruction Project, you've seen that the last couple months for various reasons, but we've buttoned up the facility plan, which is the kind of the preliminary report. We've submitted that to the MPCA, and we've submitted the various funding applications to Public Facilities Authority to get ourselves lined up to hopefully receive some funding on that project. Any questions?
Did you say you're gonna distribute that information about the trees to all the council members
Yes,
and the mayor?
yes, and the
In
mayor.
case we happen to get a phone call or two?
Absolutely.
Okay,
The more you
thank you.
can spread it around, the better. We will get that out in the next day or two.
Okay, thank you,
Ron.
John, for that report, and I make a motion to accept his engineering report.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to accept the city engineer's monthly project status report. Discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
I have one more item here, Mayor.
Okay.
This past Tuesday, on February 24th, the city of Detroit Lakes had a groundbreaking for our new Washington Ballpark Phase 1. Present construction is already working on the renovation of the new ballpark, complete with the new grandstand and dugouts, new concession stands in the plaza area. As all of you know, Terry Eider is in charge of this ballpark project and also for fundraising. And we're now working on Phase 2, because on Phase 1, we raised approximately $4 million. That was for Phase 1, we got that squared away, but now we're on Phase 2. And working on Phase 2, which will include artificial turf on the infields and irrigation in the outfield, so we could have a drainage tile and also on the player practice area. For many years, we've had nothing but water problems in that park, and if we get all this stuff done the way it should be done, we'll have a dry ballpark. We're going to have bid openings for Phase 2 will be coming in on April 7th. And from that, we're going to go and see what's coming to left to raise. We think we're going to be short around $650,000. So we're needing people to still continue making donations to this ballpark. And Terry Eider's heading that up. But other people in that fundraising committee is Matt Hedstrom, Stu Omberg, Natalie Bly, Charlie Lindberg, Tom Clevey, and Josh Hoshgraber. So if you know any of those people, go up and say, hey, I'd like to give money to that ballpark. But if you don't see them, come to the city office, and you can see Heidi and Carrie here in the business office, and they've got the right forms to help with too. But we're just about to the finish line. We just about hit a home run here. We're between third base and home plate, and we just need a little bit of money left coming in, and we won't be able to do it unless we have your help. So if you've been one of those sitting there thinking, geez, maybe I should give to it, well, come on in and sign up and make this project a dream for everybody. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Ron. We'll move to the Finance Committee agenda, and Alderman Stearns is going to head that up.
Yes, this afternoon, Finance Committee met and we had item 7A, which is only a discussion regarding a donation policy. I think the desire from the committee was that there be some parameters set for maybe if someone provides a sponsorship, that it not be open-ended, that maybe there would be a 10-year term is kind of, I think, the leaned on number for how long a sponsorship could be out there, unless there was a large donation that someone had and that maybe they could request an open-ended, basically life of that naming or sponsorship. Other than that, we probably over the next month or two, we'll expect to see something back, maybe a little formal, more formal on that. I'll move on to item 7B, consideration of improving a suitable course of action plan with the State Historical Preservation Office. I'll let Administrator Clem address that.
Mayor and council, the short version of this is basically what is required for us to be able to do the demo and replacement of the bathhouse. The longer version is, again, the bathhouse is identified as a contributing structure to the historical significance of the park. So in order for us to remove it, basically we got to try to find a way to mitigate that negative effect. You can see in the plan that's in the council packet, pretty straightforward. We got to do some photo documentation. We got to do a kind of an interpretive wall or installation inside the pavilion, which is something that we were planning to do anyways. And then we just got to continue to coordinate with SHPO on the overall designs of the pavilion and city park project.
All right, so item 7B, consideration to approving a suitable course of action plan with SHPO for the pavilion project. Like I say, Finance Committee discussed, I recommend approval.
Seconded.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve a suitable course of action plan with the State Historic Preservation Office for the pavilion project. Discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Next on the agenda, item 7D, we had a union contract with the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers. This is the final union contract that it was negotiated. It went into mediation, and so it took a little extra time. I'll also point out that the Public Utilities Commission discussed it this morning, and they made a recommendation for approval at their level, but so it's now at the city council level. So there was discussion on it. They do have an additional matching option on their 457B retirement plan, but other than that, it pretty much mirrors a lot of the other contracts that were presented. The latter item being considered partly just from a competitive nature as far as how it is to obtain employees in that area. So item 70, consideration to approving a union contract with IBEW. I recommend approval.
Seconded.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve the union contract with IBEW. Further discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Next up, item 7E, there is a cell phone policy that's been formalized. So kind of laid out the parameters for if a person has their own personal phone, how they would be reimbursed in the expectations, or if they receive a city-issued phone, what the rules are for using those. So item 7E, consideration to approving the cell phone policy. Finance Committee discussed, and I so move for approval.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve the cell phone policy. Discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Item 7F, we are now in the world of AI policies. We have, that was presented today for review as to what the guidelines are for employees as to when they can use the AI, how they should use AI, when they should not use AI, the approved contracts that could be used or providers that they could use, and all of that. So Finance Committee discussed that. Item 7S, consideration to approving AI policy, and I so move for approval.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded to approve the AI policy. Discussion on the motion. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Mike, you might as well,
Oh, we have Public Safety Committee
yeah, we do.
on there?
There is an item on there, yep. So I'll call on Chairman Dahlman.
Thanks, Your Honor. Chief Hanson's gonna come up here and give us some updates on our fire truck.
Okay, Chief?
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Yeah, so quick update, just as kind of a reminder. We're building it through Rosenbauer. It's a 1,500 gallon engine, 1,500 gallon per minute pump with the option to use as mobile water supply because this is the first new truck for our rural township contracts. So we started our committee about a year ago, a little over a year ago, kind of went through, did the spec out, and then we went and visited last August down at Rosenbauer. It's being built in Wyoming, Minnesota, with our salesman and then the engineer that kind of tells us what we can and can't do. And then we kind of dial in the spec from there. And so now we've gone through approval on that. So that puts us in line at this point. So over the next 6 to 8 months, the chassis will start to get built. Once that happens, that'll be roughly a July to October timeline. We'll go down again and re-inspect it, make sure it's being built how we want it and how we spec'd it out. And then the cab is kind of at the same time, so we'll look at the cab and the back, make sure everything's in the right place. And then hopefully, and again, this is a reminder, we were quoted 545-day lead time on this. So we're still on schedule. We should be good to go.
Okay, thanks, Chief. So no action on that, Aaron, right?
No action.
Okay,
Thanks, Son.
very good. So brings us down to the Liquor Gambling Control Committee.
All right, we have
Chairman
item 9A. So there was discussion last month on just the concept of a social district. Turns out that, there was seemed like a general, feeling that that would be an okay thing to consider. And so not too long after that, City Administrator Clem was contacted by cities of Moorhead and Dilworth, and they are looking to go to the legislators and actually ask for an option to at least proceed forward with that. That does not bind us to the city to doing anything. There are a lot more steps beyond that if we were to decide to actually, first of all, if it gets approved, then there are a lot more steps to go beyond that. So this is kind of the first step to at least try to get the ball rolling and see if it can be something to be considered in the future. So we have item 9A, consideration to a resolution supporting legislative authority to establish a social district in the city of Detroit Lakes. Like I say, Liquor and Gambling Control Committee discussed, and I recommend approval and so move.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to adopt a resolution supporting legislative authority to establish a social district in the city of Detroit Lakes. Discussion on the motion?
Well, I've got a little concern about this because here we are in the midst of doing a huge remodeling for our city park overall, our new pavilion, our brand new beach, and all of our sidewalks and streets. And my concern is that, as the lady here from the Water Carnival said, we're going to be a family fun event. Well, what I found out over the years, because I was here when we had alcohol problems back in the late 70s or early 80s, and it wasn't any fun because we don't have enough law enforcement if something does happen. So I'm going to go ahead and approve this tonight, but it's going to take a long ways to get me to persuade that this is the best deal for our city to have people walking around with alcohol because it's got a special mug. And I am concerned about safety of people, and I think with our brand new beach and pavilion and city park, I don't think we have to use alcohol to draw people to come to our beach. I think we're going to have more people we can ever imagine. People want to see what our beach is like. So I just want you to know that I'll vote for it, but it's going to take an awful lot of people to persuade me that this is the right thing for us.
All right. Further discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. And Mike, we are down to the public utilities items, and I believe there are 3.
Yes, there are, Your Honor. So item 10A. This is a second reading of Ordinance 548, which was presented at City Council last month. So I don't know if we need much more information than that unless there are questions. So I have item 10A, consideration to the second reading and adoption of ordinance 548, amending City Code Chapter 200, and I so move.
Second it.
Motion's been made and seconded to give second reading and adopt ordinance 548. Discussion on the motion. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Second reading is given, and ordinance 548 is adopted.
All right, item 10B, there were bids received for a substation construction, and so we reviewed those at Public Utilities this morning. There were two bids received this time around. The one that's recommended for approval is $3,462,704.69. They got it down to the penny. So the other bid came in a little over $4 million. So DGR Engineering reviewed the bids, recommended approval. So we have item 10B, consideration to accepting bids for the substation construction and awarding the contract to Paradigm. And I so move.
Second it.
Motion's been made and seconded to accept the bids for the substation construction and to award the contract. Discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
Next up, item 10C, this is a resolution, I'm just going to read this one directly. Item 10C, consideration to a resolution declaring the official intent of the City of Detroit Lakes and Detroit Lakes Public Utilities Commission to reimburse certain expenses from the proceeds of bonds to be issued by the city and Detroit Lakes Public Utilities. And I'll have Heidi speak on this one.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. This resolution just gives the city and public utilities the option to issue bonds in the future for the project that we've received some grant funding for. There is a substantial portion of the project that isn't covered by the grant funds. So if in the future we would like to reimburse ourselves through bond proceeds, this gives us the option to do that.
All right, item 10C, I recommend approval and so move.
Second it.
Motion's been made and seconded to adopt a resolution declaring the official intent of the City of Detroit Lakes and the Detroit Lakes Public Utilities Commission to reimburse certain expenses from the proceeds of bonds. Discussion on the motion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. I would like to recommend to the City Council that we reappoint Mike Larson to the Tourism Bureau for another term. And I would entertain a
I so
motion.
move that motion for him.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion's been made and seconded to reappoint Mike Larson to the Tourism Bureau. Discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. I'll have recommendations for the balance of these items tonight at their April meeting. The couple of announcements and information, the Becker County Assessors notified the city that the border review for the 2026 assessments will be held on April 23rd at 9:30 a.m. And we need one more council member to serve on this. So if there's anyone this evening that's willing to serve on this border review, you can certainly volunteer at this time. Otherwise, I'll have to twist some arms another time. Anybody interested?
Sure, I'll do it.
Will you? Okay, thanks, Jay. Do we need to officially appoint him in any way, or what about the training part of it, Carrie? Or Kelsey?
So Mayor and Council, I think you should take an action on establishing who is going to be on that board of review. As far as training, only one of you needs to have the training, so
We'll be
Jay,
okay.
we'll get you on there eventually, but we'll be okay.
Okay, so I would entertain a motion to appoint the mayor, Alderman Zeman, Alderman Boki, and Alderman Durrani.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to appoint those members to the board of review. Discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. The balance of the 2026 joint governance meetings are listed, as well as the council meeting dates. And just remember that next Monday, we have a work session at 3:30,
3 o'clock.
3 o'clock, okay? So anything else from the city staff that needs to be addressed this evening?
I think that covers it.
Okay. Jay, anything further?
No, I'm good, thanks.
Mike?
Mr. Mayor.
Jackie?
No.
Okay, Ron?
I just want to say thank you to Abby because she did the polar plunge, and she helped the Boys and Girls Club raise over $77,000 with that event, and this money that goes to good use to help a lot of kids in the area. So thank you, Abby, for your support and doing the jump.
So Abby, I hope you were listening when John was talking about the trees on the beach so that you can craft your story accordingly. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. All right, Aaron?
Nothing, Your Honor.
Craig? Okay, the business of this council has come to a conclusion and the meeting's adjourned.